Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Dow's Weekly Digest. There's something magical happening right now across the world. Athletes from every corner of the globe are gathering once again for the Winter Olympics. And as I watch these games start to unfold, I can't help but be transported back in time, back in cold February 1988, Calgary, Canada. You see, LaDonna and I got to join a team. We did not choose to go to the Winter Olympics in 1988. It was thrust upon us. You see, in 1988, New York Life decided to sponsor the Winter Olympics. New York Life had the opportunity to send 3 representatives and their guests of New York Life to the Winter Olympics. Everything furnished by ABC. Things that ABC furnished the athletes, they also furnished us. Everything taken care of there. Well, in that campaign, New York Life just decided to do the following. They asked the 10,000 employee associates of New York Life. They asked the 10,000 financial advisors of New York Life to recommend associates of the New York Life employees. And from that, they would only choose 3. Well, I had been in Sioux City, Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, Minneapolis, Fargo, and Sioux Falls. Being there, associates from there, financial advisors from there recommended me. The result, LaDonna and I got to represent the New York Life, being the only associate out in the field. The other 2 associates were from the home office, which was in New York City. We got to represent, be part of a team, and go to the Winter Olympics in 1988. We got contacted in a party call from the president of the New York Life and the president of ABC. They left this message with us for us to kind of let it sink in. We were representing the New York Life Insurance Company. We were representing ABC. And so more important, they stressed, both of them being the presidents from those corporations, but they very much stressed with us, we are representing the USA. And so on taking on that responsibility, we were to act accordingly. There we were. We would be sitting in the stands, wrapped in our scarves with our American flags, our hearts pounding with pride. We could practically taste that frozen air. You see, in Calgary, it gets pretty cold. We were there to cheer our country. USA, USA, USA. The chant would rise up from thousands of throats, and you felt it in your chest like a drumbeat. But that's what struck me then, and what even strikes me now. Comes to my heart, even more powerfully now. All these years later, we weren't alone in that feeling. You look to your left, and there's the Canadians. They're doing the face painting of the maple leaves, screaming themselves hoarse for their hometown team. I look to the right, and I see Germans, Russians, and Jamaicans. Yes, Jamaicans. The bobsled team was there for the very first time. And let me tell you, that little tiny nation with no snow, no ice, but just pure determination and a dream. You could tell they were there. We have the privilege to watch at the Saddle Dome Ice Arena, Katarina Witt glide over the ice with such grace. And that whole stadium was totally quiet. You could hear her skates glide across the ice. Oh, it was wonderful. And then the next night, we held our breath as Brian Bottano launched into his triple axel, which was very uncommon back in those days. And he landed it. When that gold medal was wrapped around his neck, LaDonna and I grabbed each other and we celebrated like we wanted ourselves. But here's what I remember the most. Between the events, during those moments when you're just out there in the cold, you see in the outdoor events, they would take us up by buses and let us off. And then we could go up the, the slopes or whatever it might be, and maybe get closer, whether it be the bobsleds or outdoor skiing. And it was cold out there. And every now and then you would see while we're waiting for them to go by. And when they go by, they would go by in 2 seconds. And then you'd wait some more. But in between, that's when you'd be blending with these different nations. And maybe you'd get some hot chocolate. You see, they had people on skis with backpacks, and then they would sell maybe hot chocolate or some chicken broth or coffee or tea. That's when you got to see such things as a Korean grandmother waving her nation's flags with tears streaming down her face. I saw Swiss teenagers painting each other's faces white and red. And then you knew that the Jamaican contingent was there because they were singing and dancing, absolutely refusing anything but being joyful. And every single one of them felt exactly what I felt. Every single one of them had that kernel of truth burning in their chest, belonging, the fierce beauty of love of home and country. The Olympics don't ease our differences. They celebrate them. They say, hey, bring your whole self. Bring your history, bring your culture, your colors, your anthem, your unique story. Let's see what happens when we give our absolute best and we see the absolute best. So here's the lesson this week, friends. In your workplace, in your family, in your community, you're going to encounter people who are different from you. Different backgrounds, different beliefs, different ways of seeing the world. And yes, they're going to have pride in where they come from, just like you do. Don't be threatened by that. Don't try to diminish it. Instead, recognize for what it is, the same beautiful human need that you have. The need to belong, the need to matter, the need to be of something worth fighting for. You can see someone else's pride and say, I understand that feeling because I feel it too. When you can cheer for your own team with still respecting the heart of the person cheering for theirs, that's when something of a miracle happens. That's when competition becomes community. That's when differences become depth. That's when nationalism transforms into something bigger. The recognition that we are all, every single one of us, members of the human team. So this week, as you watch those Olympics, or you go about your daily life, I want you to try something. When you encounter someone different from you, someone proud of something you don't share, don't pull away. Lean in and ask yourself, what do we have in common? What kernel of truth are we both holding? Because at the end of the 1988 Olympics, when all the medals were given and all the anthems were played, you know what I remember most? Walking out of that stadium alongside people from everywhere, all of us cold, being in the cold, seeing our breath, and yet we were happy, exhausted, and all of us had witnessed greatness. All of us were going home to different places, but carrying that very same meaning, witnessing greatness. We were one in all our beauty, messy, proud diversity, we were one. You know, your pride doesn't diminish mine, and mine doesn't diminish yours. Together, we're just stronger than we could ever be apart. And remember this, I sure do. Blessed are they who ease the pain of misfortune, for they shall be called insurance agents. Please take care. Go USA.